Welcome to Girl You Good. I'm Cassandra Pickett, licensed therapist turned clinic coach and speaker, helping high-achieving women lead their personal lives with the same clarity and confidence they bring everywhere else. Quick episodes, real talk, zero fluff. Let's get into it. Well, I'm here today with Roxanne Engstrom with Hawa Photography.
Hawa Images. Yeah.
Hawa Images. So a lot of you already know Roxanne, but she is the most high energy, filled, brimming with integrity photographer you'll ever meet. So she does ethical storytelling through her images. She works with humanitarian efforts and nonprofits and female-owned businesses and anybody who wants to share images of themselves and their story and their brand in a really authentic way, then Roxanne's your girl. And I personally have done a photo shoot with her. And
the best,
it was amazing.
Cassandra.
It was amazing.
Oh,
it was amazing. She made it so fun. And she was like, go sit here. Don't do that. Poke this here. And it was amazing.
Everywhere I go, I say, y'all need to be listening to Girl You Good. I listen to it in the car with my teenagers. So I just adore you, friend. You are such a light. You are so intentional with your relationship building. And I see you. I respect it so much. And the first time we ever met, I was like, girlfriend, it has so much bubbly energy, fun, but she has like a trauma-informed therapist lens, which is like, oh, I need all, you know me, I'm a therapy junkie. So I needed that in my life. And I was like, I love you. So I appreciate what you said.
Thank you. I actually teared up. Oh, I teared up a little bit. It was so sweet, so sweet. And I love that. I feel like it's my greatest flex, literally, that your teenagers will listen
100%
to my podcast and not just like eye roll themselves.
No, so many of the episodes they loved. Yes.
God
so
bless
good.
them. God bless them. So this is the first time Girl You Good has had a guest.
Because I applied, y'all.
Work. I was like, I don't get paid for my podcast, so I can't pay you. But I'm like, you're an affiliate. You promote this podcast as much as I do.
I love it.
God bless you.
I love
God
it.
bless
I would
you.
not unless it was legit awesome. I love it. So encouraging.
Oh, thank you, my friend. So we have Roxanne here today, and she's an amazing businesswoman, an amazing human being. And she's really, really, really good at being authentic. And she said to me when we were prepping for this that she can't always dance on a table, but she can always be her full out-of-pocket self. And I was like, what a beautiful balance, right? So on her journey to finding that, she was not always without embarrassing moments. So Roxanne's going to walk us through kind of a moment where it hit her that she could have a shift there, or that she wasn't in alignment with herself, or that a certain space wasn't in alignment with who she is. And we're just going to kind of go on the journey with her.
I really appreciate that compliment. And I also receive it because I do feel like I have really learned how to show up authentically because it feels so much better in my body and mind than when I was trying to fit in constantly. And trying to fit in constantly was literally making me sick. So I'm also a late diagnosed ADHD girly. So that part of understanding all of that has been part of this journey. You know, I did what you do when you start a business. Like I looked around, how are other people charging? What do other people, photographers do? What is the market like? And I think all those things are important. So don't get me wrong. I don't hear what I'm not saying. I think it is
do
important.
the market research and
like come up with your offer and all these things. But I felt like to be a professional photographer, I was given even advice to show up in ways that were just not aligned or authentic to me. And I felt like I had to show up online as this like super professional person when my business actually took off was when I started showing up as myself. Because your business will attract the right people when you are fully showing up in it. But when I was trying to be polished and perfect is when I was having a lot of misaligned clients that like didn't appreciate what I was like. Or when I said something out of pocket on set, they'd be like, oh my gosh, to where my clients now, I actually market myself as saying out of pocket stuff because if you can't handle that, please don't book me. And so I'm not your super professional portrait photographer. I'm not. I can recommend some people, but I am the photographer that's going to really get into your brand with you. And so that is what it was. But I feel like I was showing up not as myself. Another example was I went to a networking group that shall not be named, but it was so, first of all, everybody was like, wearing the power suits, doing the thing. I mean, God bless you. Yeah. Go on.
But you walk in and immediately you're like, ruh-roh.
Right.
This is not my vibe.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, these people are, like, serious, like, heels at 11 AM serious," you know what I mean? So I
Yep,
was
I
like
get you.
and listen, your girl loves a good blazer, don't get me wrong, but I everybody had to stand up and give their elevator pitch, and I got up, and I remember just being like, saying I wrote it down on my phone, I'm sweating,
Yes.
and I said it, and as soon as I said it and sat down, I was like, "That absolutely was nothing about who I am." So I feel like that
Uh-huh.
that pressure to be perfect, and this is what I wanna say about the pressure to be perfect, I think this is so important. You cannot act perfect and still be committed to growth and improvement.
Mhm.
Because if you are trying to act perfect and be perceived as perfect all the time, that is the opposite of somebody who wants to grow and wants to learn and wants to be curious and wants to evolve. And I
Yes.
always want to evolve.
Well, and like, Taylor Swift says, "If you're a friend to all, you're a friend to none. If you're perfect, you're
Yeah.
really not for anybody. So what's the
Yeah.
point in networking?" Which I can relate to that too. I have gone to networking before. Now I recognize it as misalignment, but I didn't before. When I was gonna do my elevator pitch and they were like, "Okay, what is it you do?" I froze and I was like, "I don't know. I didn't know what I do." And I left. I got out of there. I was
Oh, you
like
didn't.
I was like, "This isn't for me. I gotta go." They were
Amazing.
saying, "What do you do?" And I was like, "Why don't I know when I'm with you?"
That's
I
hilarious.
did, but now I really understand if I don't wanna talk about what I do, I might not be aligned in the space I'm in. Do you feel like there was a pivotal moment that really helped you live into, "Okay, this is what I'm gonna start saying in these spaces."
I do have some pivotal moments. For sure, it was, one, understanding, like, my ADHD more, being in
Right.
therapy, please get a therapist. She was like, "It sounds like authenticity and integrity are super high values of yours, but you are not being authentic or having integrity in those spaces."
Mhm.
And when she said it like that, I was
Mhm.
like, I actually can't be authentic if I am holding back. Right?
Yeah.
If I am showing up in rooms and spaces and I am not being myself, by definition, I'm not being authentic. By
Yes.
definition, I'm not having integrity because integrity is living as you are, right?
Yes.
Um,
And you're so right because as you're going into new spaces as a new business owner, you do have to kind of try some stuff on. And it reminds me
yeah,
of, you know, how like middle schoolers and high schoolers can be so uncomfortable to be around because they don't know who they are. And it's so cringy
right. I
because
have
you're
two
like,
of
oh
them.
my God, you're trying on all these personalities that don't fit. It's like the dress is dragging on the ground, but in your personality, it's really hard, right? We kind of go through that puberty in business where it's
My
like,
gosh,
I'm
I
going to
love
try this
that.
on and like see if it fits. And
Yeah.
usually you're in public when you find out that it's
Yeah.
it's not a good fit,
Or
right?
you work with a client and you're like, why was this not a good fit? Right?
Yes.
Because the thing with being authentic to me is like, it is, if I have something to say and I don't say it, I am actually robbing other people of like my true self, which I think is good. And I don't want to be robbed of their true self either.
One of the really cool things about you is like you're a lighthouse, a beacon to call like your aligned customers and friends to. And it's so nice because it's easy. You know
Oh,
immediately like this is going to work or it's not going to work, you know?
right, right.
And I
And it's
appreciate that.
okay. And it's okay if it doesn't. Like that part of this is like, I think people always want to tell the story like, oh, it's so good to get in alignment and be authentic. And like it's just going to be all the right people, but you are also going to lose people. And that
Yeah. And it can
process can
be
be painful.
hard.
It's painful. It's
Yes. And
painful
even
because,
shaming and
yeah,
uncomfortable
triggering. It's
and
triggering. Yeah,
it's puberty, dude. It's
it is.
puberty.
I love that
Woo!
analogy.
Woo!
That's why you're the goat girl. I love that. I've learned that the feeling in my body, mind, and spirit when I show up authentically is so good and so aligned and gives me peace in a way that being fake never did. And I want that for everyone I work with. And I tell my
Yes.
teenagers all the time, I'm like, you know what's interesting is what to going back to the puberty analogy, and I love the business puberty
Business puberty
analogy.
girl.
So good. I'm going to quote you on that. But it's like I tell my kids all the time, the things that make you weird now and the things that you're trying to rub off of your edges to fit in are the things that are going to make you stand out and be amazing as an adult. So be
Yeah.
careful. Be
And the
careful.
stuff you'll love.
Yes, that you love.
Yes, like, cut to me at 12 years old, putting lemon juice on my hair because I didn't wanna be a redhead, and then sitting in the sun, and I'm like, "It'll bleach it and make it blonde." It didn't,
Your hair's the most gorgeous thing. See, that's
but I
so,
got sunburn sitting out there trying
oh
to
my
bleach my
God.
damn
Sure
hair
you
blonde,
did.
you know?
Sure you
So,
did. Mm.
It's just, you can just look back and be like, oh, look at
Yeah.
all these pivotal moments that were so hard. And that's kind of one of the things I wanted to do this season was bring it to light, because a lot of
Mhm.
people only want to share their wins.
That's right.
And I think it's really important to normalize how we got there, and that
Yes.
people you look at and think they have it so together, they're so cool,
Yep.
did crazy stuff and
Totally.
embarrass themselves at meetings. And, you're not alone if you're in that space, right?
Yes.
Like
Yes.
everyone's there, and it's just part of the journey, and it can be fun. It can
And
be looked at with love.
absolutely. And I love that you said that, because I also think as the older we get, the less we are willing to suck at new things.
Yes.
And being an entrepreneur is sucking at new things in public, kind of,
Yeah.
right? So you have to be willing to like kind of put yourself out there and test things. And like as kids, we try to normalize like just go out there and try it, do your best. And as an adult, you should be doing some of that too, and doing some risky things that are measured, and then
Yep.
deciding if they're for you and editing your life accordingly. But if you only
Mhm.
ever try what you're good at instead of pushing outside of your comfort, then yeah, you'll never look dumb, but you'll also not have this like vibrant life where you're learning and growing and evolving. So
Right.
yeah, let's normalize like doing our stuff.
Something I always say, like when I do something ridiculous and I just have to put my chin up and be like, I don't know, I'm going through puberty again, is I just tell myself, proceed how you intend to finish. So if it's a space that I am going to be cussing, I'm like, proceed how you intend to finish. If it's a space where I'm going to be sassy, proceed how you intend to finish, because it saves everyone time and
I
energy,
love that.
and it
That's so
saves you
good.
pain, right? But
Yes.
it takes a minute to get there. So yeah,
That
now
is
when you
so
see me
good.
or Roxanne in public and you're like, that's a whole thing they're doing, we're just proceeding how we intend to
Right.
finish.
We're just out here, ladies, trying.
And a
No.
networking group saying,
Standing up saying,
I'm
I'm a
a
professional
photographer.
photographer. And you know what it was? Utterly forgettable. And it's sad.
Mhm.
I'm not a very forgettable person nowadays. So you can either
Right?
like me or hate me. Like you might have a very strong opinion. I'm not saying I'm a likable person to everyone, but I'm definitely not forgettable. And in that situation, I just made myself disappear and I made myself forgettable.
Roxanne Engstrom, truly unforgettable. Well, that is a perfect word for you.
It's hilarious. Same with you,
So
girl.
thank you, darling. And anybody who needs to book a new headshot, which spoiler alert, you do. You do
Yes.
need a new one.
Please
You
don't
need
be
a
a headshot
new
catfish out here,
you
please.
need you need some new pictures. You need the ones that are no longer your iPhone shot. It like got you through the first year, but it's time.
It
So
is.
go to hawaimages.com.
Well, if you're building a brand and a business you love, you deserve to celebrate it and to step into the next season. And I help people do that. I love what I do. Thank you so much. I am so
Thank
excited. I'm
you.
going to be way cooler in my teenagers' eyes. Cassandra, thank you. Appreciate you.
Your teenagers are really cool in my eyes. So shout out to her babies. I love you. All right,
Yay.
bye.
Bye.
If you are a woman out here in business puberty, trying to figure it out as you go, and want some support from people that actually get it, come join us inside the Girl You Good membership. It's $47 a month. You'll be in a pod group of women who speak your language, understand you, and get it. You'll also have live coaching with me twice a month. You do not have to do this alone. Girl, you good?